Is the increasing popularity of home education a threat or a benefit to today's children? Despite concerns from critics, studies spanning 40 years have consistently supported the advantages of home education for students of all ages. Homeschooling holds great value as it accommodates a variety of learning needs, encourages lifelong curiosity that leads to greater cognitive development, and it promotes higher levels of social and emotional well-being. Although the practice of homeschooling has been around for generations, it is just as of late becoming a widespread phenomenon, growing from approximately 15,000 reported students in the 1970s to over 2 million by 2015. While religion was once cited as the primary reason for homeschooling, protection is now the driving force. Parents may feel compelled to protect their children from violence or bullying, bad influences, or educational material that either lacks depth or contradicts their household values. Historically, home education may have been a fringe path taken by rural families for religious purposes. However, in today's landscape, homeschooling is becoming mainstream quickly, with families representing a vast array of demographics, backgrounds, and beliefs. This trend should be an encouragement to those concerned about the future of the next generation, considering the positive impact homeschooling has been found to have on students today. For students with special learning needs, homeschooling provides advantages that public education cannot. Per Dory Stale's research, as referenced in Homeschooling, in recent years more and more graduates are catching the attention of college recruiters. When compared to the general population, students that have been home-educated demonstrate higher retention rates and graduation rates as they seek to further their education. In fact, the majority of studies clearly indicate that the academic achievements of children who are homeschooled exceed those of peers attending schools, according to Newman. The flexibility of home education schedules also create a stronger environment for learning. After all, surveys have found that many students benefit from beginning their homeschooling routines later in the day to accommodate sleep schedules and learning rhythms. The ability to tailor the educational challenges to meet specific interests and giftings allows those exemplary students greater opportunity to grow than might be available in public school systems. Consider this quote from one homeschool graduate collected by the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, or HSLDA. I was very happy with the freedom that homeschooling provided. Not only was I able to spend as much time as I needed on a subject, but I wasn't forced to wait for others once I mastered it. This allowed me time to spend on things I enjoyed, such as reading history books or being involved in extracurricular activities. For those intellects and neurodivergent students that might find themselves bullied or ostracized in school for their differences, home education provides a safe space to build confidence and competence in important life skills. Homeschooling allows students with a variety of learning styles and needs to find success and thrive educationally. Aside from the educational benefits themselves, the unusual structure of home education also instills a sense of curiosity and self-compelled learning that leads to a lifetime of personal and professional success. While the rigid nature of public education may suck the joy out of learning, various studies have shown that home-educated students tend to seek growth opportunities long after graduation. Studies have found that while 64% of homeschooled students go on to attend college, only 46% of the general population does the same. As explained by one homeschool graduate to the HSLDA, rather than relying on a lecturer to introduce and clarify the material in the textbooks, I had to understand ideas, events, and data on my own, turning to my mom if all else failed. That forced me to think for myself and exert myself, since I wasn't being spoon-fed material. And as a result, I was well prepared for college, which follows the homeschool model of independent learning more closely than the public school model. Finally, homeschooled students are more likely to grow into adults that are active in their communities. Surveys found that 71% are involved in community service projects, whereas only 37% of their publicly educated peers participate in the same. To contribute to society and thrive in today's ever-changing landscape, students need to have a thirst for knowledge and growth with an interest in seeking solutions. The self-led nature of homeschooling instills a love of lifelong growth, driving both personal and professional success. In addition to these benefits, the nature of homeschooling emphasizes the person as a whole, promoting healthier social and emotional habits in students. The National Home Education Research Institute contends that homeschool graduates are more civilly engaged and exhibit healthy social, psychological, and emotional development and success in their adulthood. Per the article, The Gift of Homeschooling, Adult Homeschool Graduates and Their Parents Conceptualize Homeschooling in North Carolina, parents and graduates surveyed considered their respective experiences in homeschooling as a gift, not a burden. Families interviewed cited stronger family ties, a foundation of confidence and independence that continued to serve in adulthood, and a sense of lasting purpose, fulfillment, and joy. Within their households, the easily adapted schedule of homeschooling was noted in many of these surveys as a catalyst for the greater time allotted to grow and bond as a family, through shared meals and later nightly activities together without a concern of early morning alarms. Learning in an environment that provides a safe space for emotions, struggles, and adaptation, while still encouraging positive social interactions, develops a student as a whole person without overemphasizing simple academic success. Critics of homeschooling often cite the lack of accountability in child welfare and education standards. While any form of neglect or abuse is egregious, studies demonstrate no higher level of welfare issues within homeschooled families than the publicly educated ones. In fact, the research trends opposite. Per homeschool abuse and neglect research, How Many Homeschool Kids Are Abused, even as homeschooling rates have increased, the rate of child abuse has been decreasing. Regarding concerns over appropriate educational standards, statistically, parents that choose to homeschool are often better educated than their non-homeschooling counterparts, with over 60% holding degrees. Students that are homeschooled statistically score higher on standardized tests. They do better on college entrance exams, they thrive in university settings, and generally achieve greater results in careers as adults. Homeschooled students are not more likely to be victims of neglect, but are far more likely to thrive socially and academically well into adulthood. Homeschooling holds deep value, accommodating a variety of learning needs, instilling lifelong curiosity that brings greater personal and professional success while promoting higher levels of social and emotional well-being. The vast majority of educational scholars, college recruiters, parents, and students themselves report positive lifelong outcomes for homeschool graduates. With that knowledge, home education should not be viewed as a threat or an oddity, but rather it should be studied, supported, and even encouraged in society today.